champions in RSGPH, so it's not impossible, all right? So that's why Moreno was on a hot streak and said what he said, but it all comes down to the game. It all comes down to this best of 3. And with that said, we'll have to talk about it, exactly what Echo is fielding up against this lineup. Sure, there is a Khalid, but as always, you got to talk about how you stop that quicksand guard. And Coach Aldo read into it. Man, the Architect. Look, there's only 2 ways they can stop it. That jump from Zaida and the Minoan Fury.
Let's see how it'll play out.
And one more, maybe the Desperation Stomp. Let's get into game 1 here into the Land of Dawn. It's an orange start for both Super Ken and Zaida.
Okay, for Zaida, he actually already cleared it out much faster with the Season Hunter and just on this Baksha. Sublime clearing. Meanwhile, up top, Sorizo already doing his thing on this Khalid, bullying Sanford, and even Sanji taken very low. Now, though, it's going to be the return from Sanford over to Super Vin, who's forced to flicker out.
And Yawi coming in maybe 2 seconds too late. If there was a little extra oomph in there, they definitely would have forced the issue up against Super Vin. So yeah, this is a great start for Echo, up by about 200, 300. But wait, how about down here? Oh, Zaida hits level 4 first.
Yeah, that was a win for the clearing speed. This is what the Baksha is picked for, right? Just that clear speed, man, and that rotation speed. He can dictate what happens on the map. Meanwhile, Yawi here, already punishing Vin. No flicker. This should be first blood as Sanford jumps forward. Echo strikes first.
Sorizo here just doesn't quite have his ult just yet, so these big engagements, best believe, folks, it will hit a power spike when he does. Looking at the emblems, yeah, this is as usual and as basic as it gets. Nothing quite out of the ordinary. Again, the fact that we're looking at a Khalid here in 2023, rocking lethal ignition, means Sorizo will build in damage.
Feels like a Diablo game, right? I mean, with the Khalid, we're just missing a Badang, maybe in game number 2. But right now, Sorizo's doing a good job at zoning side away, taking him to half HP. Good rhythm coming down. Sorizo might be in a bit of trouble here. Super Ken resets the turtle. Doesn't want to take this risk just now. No mid control.
Huge presence from Echo here. It's a 4-man pursuit. They're trying to get this. Sanford dives in the back.
Oh, Raging Storm on the back line. Moreno following through. Super Ken finds the retribution on the turtle. And just like that, Yawi is now caught. 3 members of Pikachon Alpha takes him out.
They've deserted Yawi. It was a good engage. It looked good. They could have gone with the trampoline. Zaida's in trouble.
Double kill for Sorizo. The real world manipulation stops them now. Rhythm coming down. Super Ken still able to find the purple buff.
And he finds Super Vin, but Sorizo once more. He can't be stopped. He goes for a triple.
Sorizo on the Khalid.
Mirgo's dancing, man, and it's not Takaldag, not quite yet. And Echo are making up for some lost time on the map. They take Little Wanderer, and they're given outplayed here as much on the map as possible. So we're waiting for these gold laners to come into play. We haven't really talked about outplayed and Sakin much. And again, you'll see the trademark Brave Smite on a Claude. Again, it's all in the name of sustainability.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good emblem to take for Sakin. Understanding that Beatrix can actually have a pretty good say as to what's to come later on as well in these skirmishes. We saw in the previous series, Super Marco was able to utilize this Beatrix to completely, I would say, take control of CW on the Claude, who was using the Quantum Charge. You can get out, but these basic attacks, you can't dodge away from them, so you might as well just try to sustain from them.
Yep, and again, the killer instinct in Sorizo. It's either killer instinct or just the eagerness to look for a fight. Oh, down bottom, Sakin spends something to do it to help clear. Now Zaida meets up with Super Ken and Sorizo.
Raging Storm, the taunt comes down, now the hard guard as well. Zaida, sort of the boy Sans, but he's gonna be slain by Super Ken. The 2 blades from the Khalid and the Fredrin.
And not to mention, Super Vin was in there. It's so difficult playing an Angela. This definitely is the Angela meta. RWM from Moreno.
Stolen away, and now Sanji's zoned out. And now the gold lead, the XP lead for Super Ken it has increased. Now, honestly, free turtle.
It's huge. 4.5 minutes in, and it seems like Bigatron Alpha have gotten into lockdown protocol. They're gonna start shutting down everything Echo will try to do. Bottom lane, gold lane seems to be the last bastion. It seems to be the last place where Echo can find farm. And I would not be surprised if slowly but surely, Bigatron, especially as we enter the post-early game, they start to crack down their team.
Yeah, Outplayed already sent into this mid lane as well. They're trying to just funnel at Outplayed now. They understand that, you know what, Bigatron Alpha have been taking a little bit too much from us, but they haven't been able to touch Outplayed, so now we played for him. Hard guard coming down, Terrify as well. So Rizzo jumping back in with a Raging Storm. Zaida, good sidestep away. Real world manipulation, locking him down. Still, he's still able to escape now. He gets taken out. Yaoi is the one who gets the shutdown.
Here comes Stanford coming in from the north. A delayed response. Tries to pop Supervin. Will eventually find him.
Leonard's apathy coming down, but Stanford's the one who picks up the killing spree. Vengeance now with Blazing Duet melts through him. Shut down for Moreno. And Super Ken with the Appraiser's Wrath takes a big chunk out of Outplayed's HP bar.
2 for 2. And Bigatron are happy to take these trades. Again, despite the early game having been all for Bigatron Alpha, and when a team that wants to scale up gets trades and delay the game, that's usually for the losing team. But here, Bigatron Alpha, again, they're coming in to shut down Protocol. They want to take everything away, and yeah, that engage was so good. And here, even with Stanford coming in from the north, yeah, they get a kill, but it's so difficult. The fact that even Outplayed can't get the farm he wants.
Yeah, he go for even more here in the back. Outplayed still able to kite away, and Ibadu's Passion not quite landing now, so Rizzo jumps back in. Yaoi's taken out. Zaida forced to go out to run away with the Taurus's Poissons. Meanwhile, here, even with the real world manipulation, Moreno out damages Sanji. Supervin has found the kill, so Rizzo in the back forces Zaida away.
Huge 3,000 gold lead. You definitely feel that BTR are outgunning Echo. And here, I can't even imagine a world where Echo thinks of contesting. So yeah, last hurdle of the game, gonna give it over to BTR. I'm thinking of the outs for Echo, like where do they find a win? Because Chorizo is nigh unstoppable, 5-1-1. He's got the Heptasy, he's on his way to an Oracle. There he is, he picked it up.
My goodness, the slow snowball. I would say a death ball. Bigatron Alpha were able to utilize exactly that. That made RSG.
Are you saying BTR is like Mega Man? After defeating an opponent, they take their powers?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it seems like. I mean, Bigatron Alpha have been improving constantly. Super Ken now jumping in the middle of this turret. Retribution used up by Zaida to clear up ways, but Super Ken is still at full HP.
Got the hard guard in, and of course, just get that emotional damage in with the TPs. And Moreno waiting in the bush, looking for the punish. Oh, spotted. The Echo is so hungry for resources. And now, the engage by Yaoi.
Taunts it up now, forced to come back, forced to get chunked. As they look for a siege, they start grouping up in the mid lane. Zaida can no longer defend this. Super Ken jumps in again, zoning the members away. They've gotten what they sought out for. Zaida, shield unity, not quite going to be able to utilize that to connect to any of the members. And in 8 minutes, it's a 4,000 gold lead. It's a very clean game, clinical from the robots.
Yep. It's laser precise, everything they've done so far. Even with 4 deaths coming in, 4 kills from Echo, they're all calculated. It's all worth it. They're all trades. Not a single turret, not a single turtle given over to the Orcas. And now I see, now I understand, now we respect it. Mirko, I understand now the Khalid on Chorizo. It rivals even El Diablo.
Oh, Yaoi now caught. Oh my goodness. Pops into his fury in desperation. Super Ken jumps in, eats up the Venus Rage. Now punished, but Vindu and Fury from Moreno. Oh, into the back with the helm of the Raging Storm. Now Chorizo soaking all the damage. Jumping back in will fall to the likes of Outplayed. As that's a 1-for-1.
Oh no! 40 gets caught out by Sakin. Pops the Vengeance. That took so long to kill Chorizo. Just Chorizo, 3 members of Echo. Imagine that.
They had to use a lot of ultimates, a lot of resources. Even Sanford, he dove deep to buy some time. But he had to pop the Vengeance, the rhythm as well. Now BTR are clearing mid. They know how to play this Lord Dance, and they are tangoing with Zaida.
Oh, this is what they call the robot. As Super Ken goes for the pull, Zaida making some space here. I wonder if BTR knows that Yaoi's in this bush. They spotted Sanji definitely walking into it. Now Chorizo. In that whole engagement, I just gotta say, the fact that there was already so much going on for BTR, and Sorizo hasn't even jumped in, makes it all the more a worse situation. Now they spot him. They're just baiting out the ults. They're baiting out the Sandstorm. Saken gets a hard guard.
With the hard guard, he just walks up. He knows he can take anything that Echo throw at him, and all that was just to buy time for Super Ken, get some space. They're taking it real slow. They want to time it really well for the minions to spawn next wave, for the Lord to spawn with the minions next wave.
Yep, so it's coming in about 30 seconds, folks, 10:45. And just like that, Echo may have spent maybe 4 or 5 seconds too long because they know they weren't going to contest anyways.
Wow.
And nope, nothing. You get nothing, sir. Super Ken comes in, engages on Zyda.
Oh, they forced the Tortoise's Poisson already. Before the siege, before the Lord. Leo, that's going to be on cooldown for the next skirmish, for the next team fight.
Yep, going to be a huge detriment. A resource they definitely could have held on for. And here we see Lord now marching through bottom lane. Bigatron got their eyes on tier 2, not just in mid, but also up top. They're looking to break into Echo's base using this huge 7K gold lead.
Let's see if they can. Super Ken just recalling in front of Echo. Saken moving forward now, baiting out the base turret passive. Already going to be chunked quite low. Half HP, forced to pop that regen. With a nature built up by Saken. Good clear from Echo.
Great way of deterring a forced siege. So we can say that Echo are still breathing, or in their case, the Orcas, they're still getting oxygen from the ocean. And now here in mid, once more, it happened already, inevitable. All outside base turrets have been taken down, and here's another one, RWM by Moreno!
On the Sanji, taking him very low. His real world inflation is not off cooldown just yet, but Bigatron Alpha, they're unable to crack a single base turret. Echo still holding on to the game. But BTR, they will take what they can, and right now, they can take everything in the jungle.
Man, it's not so often that the predator becomes prey. And here it looks like technology reigns supreme. The architect's blueprint put to reality on the Land of Dawn. And again, another buff denied from Zyda. He's so hungry, he's starving right now. What's the goal difference between these two? Dear Lord, almost 2,000.
What's interesting is we saw the opposite when they first met in the playoffs. It was Echo, it was Zyda, who took everything away from Super Ken, and now it feels like it's a revenge arc. It's Super Ken's a villain arc. He's coming back with vengeance, and so far, he's getting exactly what he's coming to do.
Evil era. It's the robot overlords here, with Echo, oddly enough, becoming the underdogs. Let that sit, folks. The M4 World Champions, the MDL PH and MPL PH champions are the underdogs here, facing off against Bigatron Alpha. Looking at a 7,000 gold lead. Luminous Lord within arm's reach for BTR, and Echo can barely leave their base.
7.2k. Bigatron Alpha can just play it slow as they can, as efficient. Robotic even, these movements from Bigatron Alpha.
Here we see the blitz coming in from Saken and Super Ken, while Sorizo and Moreno put up a barricade, a perimeter. No members of Echo allowed here, robots only. Lord's Lane, it'll be spawned in about 5 seconds.
Let's take a look, take a peek at Outplayed. What does he have in his inventory? Still 1,000 gold behind, but he has reached his power spike.
That's respectable.
Respectable, yeah.
Given what Echo has been through, the fact that he's just 1,000 behind and not a single death quite yet. So maybe that's what they're holding on for in this rainy day. That little bit of sunshine in their pockets as all lanes are synced in. The BTR marching in.
And has Lord down below, gonna be charging, gonna be taking the base turret down for free. Bigatron Alpha, they put their resources into the mid lane now, trying to get 2. But Echo have dispersed, haven't able to micromanage. A good steal for the real world manipulation.
Well used. Now Moreno can just hold the RWM, wait for this big fat wave in mid, and Sanji pops his own.
Athena shield popped down, now Moreno with a real world manipulation. Sorizo, wow, outplay with a good flicker out. Now Sorizo's caught between the base turrets. He jumps in, but Fury knocks him up, takes them down. And Echo are showing signs of life.
2 for none. Punished underneath this mid lane inhibitor. Echo are on the board for the first time in what seemed like a long time. I'd say the better part of the past 10 minutes. Echo couldn't do anything to BTR, and now they punish BTR for overstaying their welcome. This is the first time we've actually seen Echo cross the river.
And look at that, Zyda now giving Super Ken a taste of his own medicine, taking the purple buff away.
Grand Theft Purple here, 15 minutes in. Let's look at the item builds. Hey, Sanford closed the gap.
He did 9K now, and this is the concern for the Khalid pick. Early game, I don't think there are any doubters to the way he can be a bully in lane, oppressive, aggressive, but towards a later stage, he does fall off. He becomes sort of just a utility XP laner. He sustains and he stuns, but that damage falls off, and that's what we're seeing from Bigatron Alpha now. They're in deep waters. Echo have weathered the storm.
And now I'd like to build on that point, right? Chorizo, he's at a crossroads. Do I build more damage, or do I put an immortality on me right now? Because that's what that last item slot is going to be for. For the rest of BTR, it's great. It's a walk in the park up until it's not. And that's when they march into the base. So you're still looking at a very healthy gold lead here. No doubt Bigatron Alpha still in control. 6,000 gold ahead. But this next Lord, I can't help but think that maybe this Lord, especially if this fat wave up top eventually does find a way to break through that tier 1. It's a long lane. I'm wondering if maybe this is the one that Echo contests.
I think they have to at this point, right? They can technically turtle in their base, but why not put additional pressure to Bigatron Alpha? If they're somehow able to win a team fight, trade a few kills over for the Lord, or even better, just get the Lord, then they have a chance to completely take control.
They're looking for the turn. And boy, oh boy, what a miraculous turn it might be. Chorizo here, down to half health.
Whoa, 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 a lot of damage coming down. Chorizo not going to be stunned up, he's going to be picked up, but no! He flickers out to safety. Moreno buys the winner truncheon.
And he goes and spends this time in the bush to recall home. Look at Supervin, just pushing top lane, forcing a response for Sanford. Heart guard into Sakin.
Zyda still with a shield unity. He's trying to look for an opening right now. He goes in. Moreno flickers out of the real world manipulation. Big resources spent already. Bigatron Alpha, do they take this fight?
All right, Heart Guard just expired. Lord down to a fifth of its health. They're looking for engage. RWM from Moreno.
Yeah, we Mini Fury out to 3. Chorizo jumps in, but Sakin gets gunned down. Now it's Super Ken versus Zyda. And it's Zyda who wins it. Now Moreno forced to use the winner truncheon as Echo collapse on the robots.
Remember his name, Zyda, formerly known as Mama Coco, the punish on Sanford.
Bigatron Alpha 7K down to 2. Echo are going to utilize it to completely equalize. 2 for 2, but Outplayed is still alive.
They've left that Lord up top to push that long lane. And RWM here. Oh no, it's hit critical mass. There's way too much firepower coming in from Echo. They're going to penetrate.
Base turret down in the mid lane. From nothing to everything. Echo, 3.7K Lord advantage.
Oh, not to mention that bottom lane too again. The enhanced waves for Echo. And it's scaled up too. I'm wondering if it hit at the evolved state. If it's at 18 minutes, oh Lord, just crashes in.
Brazer's Wrath going to be used up. Chorizo hasn't been able to find any raging sandstorms. And that's why Echo, whoa. Renner's apathy even used up. Oh, immortality pop. Super Ken forced back. Echo are going in. Sakin now. Oh, he's in the midst of it all. Pops into Purify. Gets out. Now Sanford in the back. Dealing a lot of damage, but gets forced back. Moreno pops into real world manipulation as Super Ken jumps forward. But now the base turret down below is at threat.
Oh, they're walking on thin ice. Many a team in the SPS Challenge Finals have fallen to this folly, overstaying their welcome. But it looks like Echo, they know how to dance this dance. They know how to temper their expectations. They couldn't push that top lane inhibitor quite yet. But I believe this is to their advantage. This is the first time in a while in this 19-minute game that they're actually the ones in the driver's seat. So they're trying to protect that lead as best they could.
It's a big W, a big fat W for Echo right now. I mean, look at the gold lead, completely gone. And speaking of the late game, Bigatron Alpha, what are they going to use Chorizo for? Now his damage has fallen off. Now his dashes, his stun can be dodged. It's very easy to dodge. We've seen it many times from Echo.
Yep, he's a sitting duck after that engagement and after he's tried to output the damage he can up until he needs to sit in a corner and think about what he's done with a quick sand guard. Can confirm, folks, he built an immortality. So yeah, this does send the message that, yeah, I just want to be annoying as hell. Superman gets jumped on.
Oh, Renner's aptly even used up now. Vin is going to fall. Super Ken tried his best to help his roamer. But with that, Echo have just taken control. Once again, they've taken the roamer. No more global presence.
All right, so good news for Echo is he's not rock and pull yourself together. He's actually gonna count up all the death timers here, and we're past TikTok timers. That should have been a life that Bigatron protected all the more because, again, Evolved Lord scaled up to 20 minutes, up for taken.
20 seconds on Super Vin. Bigatron Alpha, they can try their best to look for a cancel, to force Echo to reset. But at this point, Echo, they're committing. They do not want to let it go. They want a 50-50.
More than just a 50-50. Look at the control that Yaoi has asserted. He really wants this. He gets knocked up, gets the heal. Ooh. Oh, Super Ken comes in, but Zaida scores.
Big damage coming in, but now, again, it's going to be Super Ken who falls in the front, even in the back. Sanford, beautifully done, distracting and zoning the back line. Moreno and Saken were a non-factor in the team fight.
I can only imagine there must have been a gap in the communication. Super Ken was a little in too deep, and I'm guessing he was making the call to Super Vin. Hearthguard now! Hearthguard now!
It was a bit too late at that point. Saken dealing some damage, but now with the Evolved Lord, Echo are just marching down. They want to play with the damage reduction. Saken gonna be chunked.
They're coming in. Lord just a breath away from their base. Hearthguard on Saken.
Whoa, outplayed! Dodges away, flickers out. The blazing duet comes out from Saken right now. Is able to gun down the members. But now the real world manipulation popped in. Now it's gonna be the Lord chunking the base quite low. So Rizzo coming back, looking for some more damage. Mid waves as well for Echo.
40 very low. The base at a third of his health. They pop some immortalities. Yaoi goes.
With an nature popped in now for Saken. He's gonna be engaged on Minion Fury. Not with the flicker this time. Super Ken respawning with a taunt. Yaoi gonna be brought back to the team as Saken picks up the kill. Sanji in outplayed, not given the space to go for the base. And Bigatron Alpha have defended.
Oh, outplayed! He gets caught! Whoa. Immortality popped!
No immortality, knocked up, shut down! Moreno has taken outplay down, now going forward. Real world manipulation from Moreno. As Sanford dives in deep, now looking for the damage. Winner Chuncheon gonna be bought in time. Gonna be selling it to the immortality. Moreno was baited, Sanford!
It's a bait on a bait! And with that, patience wins! Bigatron Alpha with the wipeout!
What a game! Again, it will always begin like this. It happened for Onyx versus AP Bren, and Bigatron Alpha have coin flipped back to a victory.
1-0. BTR takes the opening game.
What is Moreno? If Onyx have Gila Sans, I'm trying to make a nickname for Moreno, but
it'll come.
What the hell? Winner.
Hello, what's up? You've reached the office of Joy Jungle Enjoyers. I don't know. Is it just me? I'm a big fan of Jungle Joy now, especially if you have such an awesome side lane comp that is the XP lane Grok and the Melissa, which you saw coming from a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, with the bans going through, the Yu Song and the Arlet, the Lapu has really fallen off in this meta, in this patch, and that's why they didn't go for the ban there. With those two banned out, especially the Arlet, that really gave it away for me. I was really surprised to see Echo ban out the carry instead of the Melissa. So they have it planned out as well. There's no way that they will oversee it. They know that the Melissa was coming, and they want to try to counter it instead of banning it.
How about 40 on a hero that's not as easy to cut right through the lineup? He's so honest. It's very rare that we see Sanford on a Fredrin, which they invested in later on. But just as well, it's possible that maybe somewhere in the draft, they flip the switch. Coach Treb says, hey, Zaida, you feeling the Ling?
Ooh. To be completely honest with you, I'm a fan of Zaida's Ling. Not a fan of Sanford being placed down on these heroes. Fredrin, oh, I hate Fredrin in the XP lane so much. I have a personal vendetta against this Fredrin XP.
It was good until it wasn't, because we've seen a lot of XP lane Fredrin do well in the groups of SPS challenge season, especially post-patch. But here we'll see if it's worth it, right? Especially putting it on a player like Sanford. It's an orange start for Zyda. Superken goes for the purple. And yeah, here's where I like that Jungle Joy. You reach level 4 reliably, and you're able to output so much damage, especially in those first few fights.
Let's see, now Zyda on to the purple buff. Let's take a look at the emblems here. Sakan with the Quantum Charge. Chorizo also with the Quantum Charge. Despite going on the Grok here. We've seen a lot of different emblems before on the Grok. I think Wolf is a big hater on the Lethal Ignition. Big no-no for him, for Grok.
Yeah. So here, it having Quantum Charge allows for him to, you know, stay on targets a little better with those auto attacks, keeping him up, topped up and ready, just to, you know, get more Power of Nature's on. Something to note as well, Vince Franco actually is rocking the common emblem.
Yeah.
So he really wants to stay in. He wants that mana filled all the time, so he's ready to bite down when the rest of BTR calls for it.
He wants to go for the hooks. He wants to constantly just be throwing hooks. Or, well, yeah, I mean, most of the time that. And also just sustaining back up with Adaptive Regen. Yaoi. Damage Revenge over to Super Vin. Good damage on the gold buff from Sakan, but he will not commit onto it. Joy coming back down, 3v3.
I mean, now that we're talking about it, right? Super Vin here. Oh, wait. Walks into a bush. 3 in there.
Bouncing ball, and that should be first blood over to Zyda in the first minute of the game. Let's take a look at the emblems first here. So, Rupture, Season Hunter, could be expected from a Ling.
Miscalculated what Super Vin did there. I was about to say, man, this is Vin. He won an MPL championship while he was playing with RQ with this Franco. Onyx refused then at that time to ban it. That's what gave him the nickname, at least for me, Franco Man. Sanford and Chorizo here looking for the pull. Their junglers, respectively, yet to come to the scene. And Super Vin now back in this bush. Big control. He has an Iron Hook and a Bloody Hunt to go.
Let's see if it works out. Yaoi's already spotted. Ooh. Iron Hook almost connecting on the Sanji there. Yaoi's charging the Tyrant's Revenge. Going on to, oh! The Flicker dodged away now! It's gonna be Super Ken who secures inside a lockdown and Bloody Hunt. So Rizzo able to flicker out now. Super Vin caught in the Appraiser's wrath.
And Vin's gonna fall here, but the damage has already been done. Turtle already claimed by BTR, and Super Ken's not done yet.
Rhythm coming down. Super Ken, though, doesn't want to commit too much. They've won the objective battle, but they've lost in the kill department. Who's it worth for, Leo?
I'd like to think it's a wash. This is the same spot we saw Echo even before the turtle take, and there wasn't much of a conversion from BTR anyways. So I'd say we ended up where we left off. Something to note though, gotta love Super Vin's reflexes.
Yep.
We saw this earlier in the groups, and even a bit in the playoffs here, how he's so quick to go flicker ult, whatever that may be, flicker wild charge, flicker bloody hunt, and that's what stopped Zyda from actually coming in clutch, stealing the turtle away.
Yeah, now that you mention it as well, taking a look at the kills, sure, Echo have a gold lead, but we gotta remember that these 2 kills that Echo have been able to pick up, it's only on the Super Vin, the roamer, right?
He can afford it.
He can afford it, definitely, and it has given so much more space to the rest of the members. Moreno and Sakan, even Chorizo has been given enough space to farm up, and do they have a gold lead in their own lanes?
Not exactly. Sakin's down about 200 gold away from outplayed, and yeah, outplayed. Both of them actually built a pair of pants, so they can trade. It's a matter of who's gonna come in and change that math. Who's gonna come in and try to win an advantage for their gold laners. And it's gonna come in clutch, folks, because 20 seconds from now, there will be a turtle, and it spawned in the gold lane. 40, ooh, playing with fire. I wonder if he knows Ken and Vin are there.
I don't think so. Maybe he does. Chorizo up top. Gonna be jumped on by Zyda with that Finch Poise. Sanford now looking for the engage. Chorizo with a wild charge. Power of Nature. Combo together. Gets himself out of there. Gets some vision on the purple. Tries to reset it. And Pikachu Alpha now know where Zyda is.
Yep, this is a clear sign for them to go ahead. Maybe blitz this turtle, because Zyda will still go for the purple. Still trying to take it. Moreno scores an RWM. Sanford walks in, and the turtle is reset.
No reason to commit for Pikachu Alpha. They think, take it slow. Super Ken clearing out the mid lane, picking up the Genius Wand. 5 minutes in. Super Vin caught.
Yahoo!
Has the rage, Bennett's rage, everything in a kitchen sink thrown. But Vin still survives. Now it's a real world manipulation. Oh, outplayed. Oh, good flicker out to safety.
Wow. Ults thrown out on both sides. Battle spells, though, kept in check. All this time was bought for Chorizo. Space on the map to push that top lane tier 1. I love it. Again, very similar to that last engagement. It's a wash, but I give a slight advantage to BTR. I think BTR played that very well, and now Moreno flickers out, saves himself.
Good play by Zyda there. Makes Moreno miss a whole cannon minion in that mid lane. Super Vindo looking for a pin down. Conceal already used up. Super Ken jumping into the conceal as well. Iron Hook not connecting. Good dodge. Sidestep from Yaoi, Sanji, and outplayed.
3v3. I wonder if Echo are aware that this is a boding 5v5. Oh, yeah, Super Ken leaves the vicinity of the area. I like it. Both teams are actually playing with the space very well. As early as, what, 5-6 minutes? They're seeing parts of the map that, hey, there's an absence of enemy units here. No opponents here. Maybe I should just push. And that's what Zyda tried to do.
Both of them respecting each other a whole lot more than game number 1. I think in game number 1, it was a battle of disrespect.
It was very playful.
Yeah. Bigatron starts strong, then Echo comes back. And Echo, we're almost able to end, and then Bigatron comes back again.
Yep, that's what made that game so fast and furious, and now this time it's just so calculated, right? 6 minutes in, approaching 7 minutes, and only just 2 kills. Here we go, Echo going for the old-fashioned attempt on the push. Chorizo and Moreno to the rescue. Thou shalt not take our tier 1 down bot.
Wow, good defense from Chorizo, who's had a consistent performance all throughout this tournament. One of the standouts for Bigatron Alpha, alongside Moreno, who has not been playing every single game for Bigatron Alpha. Funnily enough, seeing how good he is now, you would expect, maybe he should get more games.
Definitely. This is more than enough evidence that Moreno is coming into shape here. Part of the main lineup of Bigatron Alpha. Now, last turn of the game spawned, down to a fourth of its health. No dice. Bigatron Alpha concedes it. Echo scores.
Wow, interesting choice by Bigatron Alpha. Feels like, again, they're trying to weather the storm. They're trying to wait for these item power spikes. And looking at the items, I think I know exactly what they're waiting for. Sakin, Golden Staff, it's going to be the moment where they can look for these 5v5s, these neutral objective contests as well.
And now up top, they engage on the 40. Ken pops the rhythm and beats. Big bush there. Oh, oof.
Big damage, good Iron Hook, and that's a wild charge, but it's only on the sand for the Flicker as well. Power of Nature going to be used now. Super Van engaged on.
And there's the RWM keeping Sakin in place. He gets the go away, but he goes down.
2 for 0. Echo outplay Bigatron Alpha. Now, Stars Revenge and the Rage. Super Ken is down. Yaoi picks the kill up, and it's all Echo.
Must have been something wrong with the circuitry or the communication, more specifically, because that was very un-Bigatron-like. They were spread out, stood around, stayed where they shouldn't have been, and even after one fell, the others didn't follow through. So yeah, now Echo have a great lead, a big lead, 3,000 in, and they're pushing 2 turrets in mid straight.
Mid lane tier 2 gonna fall despite Moreno trying to savor it. And now it's a 4,000 gold lead. Exactly what Bigatron Alpha were able to do to Echo, but now reversed. It's Echo. Look at the gold difference between Zyda and Super Ken. 1.6k.
Huge. And not to mention the gap between Outplayed and Sakin. He's gonna force Sakin to respond here and play safe. Prior to that last engagement, maybe Sakin had hopes of greeding out, but now he has to respect the damage output of Outplayed. Maybe even expedite building a Wind of Nature, because anything less would mean doom, would mean that he wouldn't scale up and put up a fight as well as Outplayed could. Mirko, you're looking at 5-0 in under 10 minutes and a 5k gold lead.
It's a big gold lead, a big chunky one for Echo, especially considering it's placed on the right targets. It isn't Yaoi, it isn't Sanford, it isn't even Sanji who's holding it. It's the new recruits, the MDL players for Echo, Zyda and Outplayed, who both had phenomenal performances.
The cores, if you will, and now they're looking to blitz this Lord. Super Ken and Vin. Yaoi's gonna try to stop him though.
Retribution, Super Ken, what? He steals it, Bigatron Alpha disengage. It's a hit and run!
And they skedaddle away! We're all left in disbelief, but that just happened, folks. Despite Yaoi jumping in, Super Ken just walks in. Bright as day. Highway robbery. Thank you very much.
There were setups placed by Echo. They had everything right. Yaoi was waiting. Everybody was waiting for a charge. They were waiting for Bigatron Alpha to just bite on the bait. But they didn't just bite the bait. They took the rod away.
It wasn't even punished. Bigatron Alpha paid nothing there. What? This is worse than just being caught on CCTV red-handed. They did it right in front of them, and now it breaks out up top.
Wow, Superfin's still able to escape. Real world manipulation committed in. 3 ultimates though used up. Zaida now jumping forward. What? Defiant Blade already used up as well. Top of the blades coming down. Moreno looking for the damage. Socking with a muddle. Placement on point. Mid lane gonna be cleared out. Superken's waiting in that bush. Sanford finds it. Superken doing some damage onto the back, onto Sanford and Yaoi. Zaida going into Pacer's Wrath with the wild card! By Chorizo!
A stolen RWM from Moreno, swiping away. Go away by Sakin. Oh, they're just holding on for dear life. Down goes Chorizo.
Inspired Euro Sense, he saves his gold laner. And Outplayed is able to out-sustain. Moreno now caught in the 1v2. 4 for 1, Echo.
Huge gains here for Echo, despite the stumble, despite the roadblock that was Super Ken's steal on the Lord. And the good news is, BTR is on the map, they're on the board here, 1 kill, but Echo punished so hard, delayed gratification, that's what the Orcas were looking for.
Oh, look at Superfin. Calm, collected.
Stone cold.
Stone cold. But for the chat, there's only one thing that Superfin is doing, AFK.
He's still there, can confirm. Yeah. He's just buying time. He's protecting the buffs, and he's making sure that he remains scarce. Again, even if you're down, the threat of a single hook, hey, Onyx fans would know, right? The threat of a single hook can change the tides of battle. So that's what Vin was doing there. And Bigatron Alpha, they have to force Echo to slow down.
Now, the game gets really slowed down. Meanwhile, Sergeant Van Jan, the Rage Chorizo takes everything. The Bennett's Rage and the RWM takes it to his grave.
And what's that going to lead to here? Super Ken still scores his purple. They're going to threaten a take on tier 2 down bottom. It looks like Bigatron's going to save it. Sanji, oh, he's baiting, he's baiting!
Oh, Terror's Revenge by Yaoi, but Super Ken is able to escape. Pops in that rhythm. Zaida is going around. Superfin trying to get a cheeky little iron hook down to Zaida. But no, Echo denies it away from Bigatron. They say, no, we're not going to fight. We want the Lord.
Here comes the Luminous Lord, and in the long lane, Echo was able to leave a big fat wave there, taking down that tier 2. So yeah, that's more of the map that Echo have control of. Less for Bigatron Alpha to get space and gold from, to give to Sakin, to give to Moreno, and now they gotta be careful, man. Super Ken, he can just steal from anywhere.
Yaoi, Revenge at the Rage, and even the Bruce Passions or Rizzo flickers, but it's not to connect to anyone. Outplayed with a mega kill. Sakin dealing damage, but it's not enough to take anyone down. Sanford with a taunt, knocking Sakin down, surviving for a bit. But now he falls, but Sakin follows. Moreno.
Stolen Tempest of Blade keeps him alive for just 2 seconds longer as Outplayed pops him. And down bottom, Zaida was able to penetrate. There's a hook and the bite down. The punish from Supervin.
I don't think it's going to be enough to save this game, though. 10 seconds on Super Ken. Sanji, oh, he's taking turret shots. No, what?
Oh.
What? What? What just happened?
He must have been thinking, must have been looking at the map. That's the only other explanation I have. Wasn't under any slow, wasn't under any CC. If this happened in the early game,
oh no,
forgivable. But now, at a clutch moment like this, especially with Lord spawning, that's a tough pill to swallow. Bigatron Alpha, they capitalize.
Oh my goodness gracious. Bigatron Alpha have just taken back control through that blunder, through that massive blunder.
They shrank the gold lead. Almost near them, cut it in half. We're looking at a Luminous Lord marching through bottom lane.
What?
And Echo have to regroup. Echo have to find it within themselves to communicate and say, hey man, we're going this direction. We're winning. We gotta respect what Bigatron Alpha does, especially inside their base.
There's a big disconnect as well from the members of Echo. Do they want to end? Do they want to go for the Lord? Seems like Sanji wanted to make the call, but was forced back. And then it happened.
And he backed off too late.
Oh, now they're in deep waters, man. Now, remember, these power spikes have suddenly hit for Bigatron Alpha with a sudden goal that they've been able to get with a Lord. 2,000 Lord advantage.
All right, all 5 members of Bigatron Alpha here. Contemplating on a recall. Maybe we should send someone back to the friend from Zyda. Now Lord threatening to take. RWM coming in. Yaoi, no one home.
Too
the
big.
answer from Moreno.
2 big resources, Leo. The Lord not able to take the turret down now. Superfin going to be engaged on Venice Ridge. Coming down, Superfin still able to flicker. Yaoi, no flicker on his side. Good Iron Hook to bring it down the ring. Oh! 3-man wild charge as Super Ken decimates the back line.
And Sanford gets popped as well in a BTR sandwich. 3 for none. The current body count for BTR as they penetrate in mid. 4 members, make it 5. Super Ken coming in a frame. They can threaten a finish here. It's 20 seconds until the next member of Echo spawns.
Only the 2 new players, and Outplay gets bursted down by Moreno. Now the backside goes all the way. BTR clean sweep.
Knockout protocol engaged. The robots send the Orcas home.
Moreno talked the talk, and now he walks the walk. He sends another Filipino team home.